In the vibrant neighborhood of Maple Street, there lived three siblings, Amaka, Chinedu, and Chinwe. They were orphans, living in a small one-room apartment. Amaka, the eldest at just 18 years old, took care of her younger siblings since their parents passed away. Life was tough, and they struggled to make ends meet. Amaka sold plantain chips to support her family, but their earnings barely covered their basic needs. They lived from hand to mouth, never knowing where their next meal would come from. One hot afternoon, as Amaka hopped along the busy road, exhaustion overwhelmed her. Hungry and tired, she decided to rest under the shade of a tree, leaving her merchandise beside her. She closed her eyes for just a moment and drifted off to sleep. In her dream, a kind stranger walked up to her and handed her a piece of paper with a phone number scribbled on it. "Call this number if you ever need help," the stranger said before walking away. Suddenly, a voice calling out "plantain seller" jolted Amaka awake. She looked around, realizing she had been dreaming. But the number from her dream lingered in her mind, and she frantically searched for a pen to write it down. With trembling hands, she scribbled the number onto a scrap of paper, feeling a glimmer of hope stirring within her. Perhaps this was the sign she had been waiting for, a chance to change their lives for the better. With renewed determination, Amaka resumed her journey, carrying the weight of her family's hopes and dreams on her shoulders. And though their path was still uncertain, she clung to the belief that help was just a phone call away. Little did she know that this simple dream would be the catalyst for a series of events that would transform their lives forever. As the sun dipped low over Maple Street, Amaka returned home, her mind buzzing with the events of the day. Sitting on the floor, she began counting the day's earnings from her plantain chip sales. Just as she finished, her younger siblings, Chinedu and Chinwe, entered the room, their faces flushed from fetching water. Amaka's heart swelled with love for her siblings, who depended on her for everything. "How was sales today, Amaka?" Chinedu asked, his eyes filled with admiration. "Thank God, it was okay," Amaka replied, a faint smile playing on her lips. Chinwe piped in, "I need money to buy pepper for the beans. Can you give me some?" Chinedu interrupted, his voice brimming with hope. "Amaka, God will open doors for you. You won't remain a plantain seller forever. You'll go to school and become a graduate." Amaka's eyes widened in surprise, her mind flashing back to the mysterious dream she had earlier. She remained silent, lost in her thoughts. "What's wrong, Amaka? Why didn't you say amen?" Chinedu questioned, concern etched on his face. Amaka hesitated before sharing her dream with them. Chinwe urged her to call the number, excitement bubbling in her voice. Chinedu, ever the realist, cautioned, "Not all dreams come true, Amaka. Some take time, if they come true at all." Amaka nodded slowly, considering his words. But the dream felt so real, she murmured, her heart torn between hope and doubt. Chinwe interjected, "What if the person who owns the number is a wealthy suitor who will marry you and take us all to America?" Chinedu chuckled, "Keep dreaming, Chinwe." Turning to Amaka, Chinedu reminded her of the opportunity to supply plantain chips to a famous superstore manager. "Maybe your dream was just your mind processing your thoughts," he suggested. Chinwe brushed off Chinedu's explanation, insisting, "You should call the number, Amaka. What if it's our ticket out of this poverty?" Chinedu countered, "But what if the number is switched off or not assigned to anyone yet?" Chinwe shook her head, "That's not possible." Amaka listened to their back and forth, her mind welling with possibilities. Finally, she spoke up, her voice calm yet determined. "I can't call the number now. I need to decide what kind of help we really need, so that if it's a one-time opportunity, it can sustain us for the rest of our lives."